Hi, my name is Don Jessup. I'm the owner of Silicon Valley Associates, a residential real estate company right here in Silicon Valley. And welcome to our weekly update. I'd like to talk to you a little bit about the market. The market is still white hot, and we've been adding to inventory, which we thought was going to actually slow down the market. But this week, real estate agents did a great job. They sold more properties than we listed, and we actually went down in inventory. And if you're a seller, I know we talk about this each week, it's time for you to sell. And you ought to sell sooner than later, because right now inventory is very, very, very low. And if you put your house on the market today, you'll probably get more money today than you will later on in the summer when there's more inventory available. So if you're a seller today, really consider talking to your favorite real estate people. If you don't have one, contact our office and we'd be happy to put you in contact with one. The second thing I wanted to talk to you about is, are you a buyer? Are you out there looking for properties in this hot market and been frustrated and thinking about walking away from it because you can't attain the properties that you want? You put 6 offers in. What I'm here today to tell you is, don't get discouraged. The Housing Wire, a national company called Trulia, put out an article today which I wanted to talk to you about. And it says that in the 100 best markets in the United States, it is still better to buy. And the title of the article is, Do You Know Why Buying a Home is Cheaper Than Renting? And in the 100 top markets in America, that is still true today. Even in markets like Hawaii, where it's 5% better. In Detroit, it's 66% better. And it varies from where you're at. But buying a home, paying down the mortgage, developing equity, setting down roots somewhere is still the best way to build wealth in America today. In addition to your 401ks and maybe the stock options and the money that you're saving, if you can own a home free and clear by the time that you're retired, and you sit down and you put a plan into place to accomplish that, well, that gives you more ability to go do the things that you've always wanted to do, the big dreams that you've always wanted to dream, the trips that you've wanted to do, home ownership and long-term home ownership, and being able to pay that mortgage down through appreciation gives you ability, one, to move anywhere you want to move in the United States or stay where you're at, where your basic friends are. But home ownership gives you a lot of different things that you need to think about. One, it does give you a base of where you are, and it establishes roots in a neighborhood that you love and you love to be a part of. It gives you the opportunity to build that equity. It gives you opportunity to pay off that mortgage so you don't have a payment someday when you retire. It also gives you the opportunity to take that money and invest in larger properties. And the people who don't own will always have to work. The people that own and pay off their homes through paying down their mortgage and paying off their mortgages will have the opportunity to retire and do more things. So I want you to encourage you, if you're a buyer, you're out there, you've made 15 offers on a property and you're doing it with no contingencies and you got people overbidding and that type of thing, don't get discouraged, because interest rates are still at historic lows. The other question that we get is, are we in a bubble? Am I going to buy today and next year am I going to be unhappy like the people who bought in 2007 and their properties dropped 30%, 40%, and they had to do short sales and they're in financial chaos and those types of things? Am I going to be one of those people if I buy in this hard market today? And the answer is no. Because the difference in back then in 2007 and the difference today when you're purchasing a home, the people who can purchase a home today can afford their home. They're putting a down payment, whether it's 3.5%, whether it's 20%, they're employed, they have 2 years of history, they have good credit. Back in 2007, if you could fog a mirror, you could buy a home. You're buying it with 100% equity, then you're refinancing, pulling your cash out, and the minute the market changed, you were upside down. Today, that's not true. If you bought your house 6 months ago, you bought your house 3 months ago, you probably have more equity in it today than you did when you bought it. And the people who have bought their properties today, just a year ago, somewhere between 50 and 60% were all cash, or 20% down, or more than 20% down. They have jobs, they have good credit. So what happens when they lose their job? they still have the ability to sell their home and take the equity and move on to whatever they need to do. And they have the ability to save that home, where in 2007, 2008, the people who bought homes at 100% and more, 125%, 115%, didn't have the ability to save their homes. And if you had a negative equity loan where it was adding every month, you're making the minimum, and now you had 125% loan to value in your property, and the market turns, well, you don't have anything to do but be upside down, and you can't afford the property. But today, we're not going to see that same bubble because people have equity. And I would encourage you, if you're a buyer, to continue to look, to get into a home as soon as possible, lock down that interest rate, and move forward. If you have a question that you'd like answered on our program, please email me. We'll be happy to answer that question and go through the whys or the yeses and the nos about that question, and we'll handle it for you. Again, I'm Don Jessup, the owner of Silicon Valley Associates. Thank you for coming to our weekly show. You have a great week.